Namaste, hello, Sat Sri Akal, Kushamdid, Namaskaram, and Hola to all. How are you? I'm Nina Matthew from Mind and Me, and I'm here to take a storytelling session. So, I've been told that it has to be, say, 40-minute session. And a 40-minute session for a story could be like 10 million years for some children, and it could be like 100 million years for a few more. I totally get it. So you can have the option. I'm giving you a lot of options here. So the first option is that you can see this video in parts. So let this be the part 1 of the video, and then we will have part 2 of the video and the part 3. Or the other option for you is that you watch the entire session at one go. If you have really powerful ears and if you have really activated neurons in your brain, which I'm sure you have, so you can go ahead with the entire session, and I promise you that's not going to be boring. It's going to be interesting. So, and I'm trying to make it interesting. I'll try to make it interesting as much as I can on my part. So let's get started. Let me tell you that we are getting started with the session over here, and we are coming to an end of this year, 2020, and going to the new year, that is 2021. So do you have any baggages of fear, baggages of anger, impatience, jealousy, any baggage that you have? Just leave it here, throw it in the any dustbin that you find. Just imagine a dustbin or a big pit. Just throw all your baggage. Anger thrown, impatience thrown, jealousy thrown, and fear thrown. And what you carry along with you? You carry along with you the fragrance of love, the happiness of gratitude, the love and warmth and generosity. All these are virtues which make you fly high in the sky. So just remember, we don't need the heavy baggage. Even when the rocket launch takes place, it keeps on dispatching the layers till it flies high, and so that gives the power for it to fly. So same thing. The more baggage we have, the heaviness, it will not make us soar. So just leave it there. And Christmas, which is just over, it's all about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, gratitude and generosity. Remember, generosity is not just giving away things, or most of the time it is confused with things I don't want, I am giving. It's of no use to me. That's not generosity. Even charity and generosity go in hand. You have to give things which you think that it's good for you yourself, that is, you will use it, and you are giving away that thing because you care for the other person. So then that adds value to that thing that you're giving. So that is generosity. And the attitude of gratitude is superb. So you need to practice that too every time, every day. So we are going to have a lot of activities in this session. And for that we need paper, pen, pencil. And you can use that, and it has to be an active participation, because if you are just looking at the screen and I'm also looking at the screen, we both are looking and looking, nothing happens, and what happens is our mind wanders here and there. So what we need to do is we need to come back and gather ourselves and go. Let's have fun together. Let's take the pledge of going into this new year with a lot of happiness in our heart. And for that happiness is in our hands, in our minds, in our hearts, totally dependent on us, our actions and our thoughts. So let's just close our eyes and relax. Take a proper posture which is comfortable enough for you, and then just close your eyes and relax. Imagine yourself in a place where you are going into a house. You have the magical key with you, and as you enter inside the house, think of all those things that really give you happiness. What are those things? And when you open the door with that magical key, you are amazed to see all those things in that room. In the left corner, you wanted that favorite thing. You always wanted it. It is there. In the right corner, again, you see those things which you had always imagined to possess, and now you have it with you. It's all there. So what I want you to do is just think of 5 things that really give you happiness. And those 5 things are in this room, which you entered through the magical key. What are those 5 things? Place them in that room. Be happy with it. You're so happy with it, isn't it? It's amazing to have things which you always wanted. And now you come out to an open space. Come out of the room. Here is an open space. It's lush green. Lots of trees, fresh air, clean air, healthy for your heart and lungs. You're breathing so well. Here in this open space with your arms wide open, you imagine at least 5 people who give you immense happiness in your life. Like you really love being around them, looking up to them. They could be anyone, family, friends, celebrities, anyone. 5 or more, it's up to you. But think of those people whom you really look up to, who love you, who care for you, and you also love them. Who are those 5 people? or 10 people in your life whom you really want to be around with, and you really enjoy their company, you love to listen to them, you love to follow them. Who are those 5 people? You actually, in this open space, you are having fun with them, you're talking to them, you're asking questions. It is an amazing moment that you are having with them. Alright. Now, open your eyes slowly. Yes. So now that brings us to the next activity, which is what we did. We imagined first the things and the people. So what we are going to do, we're going to take the pen and paper and write list 1 and list 2. List 1 is, the things, the 5 things that you had to think of, and list 2 is about the 5 people that you met in the open space. So this kind of list you can just mention it. I'll give you 2 minutes to do this activity so that we can continue with the story. So quickly you can write the names. Alright, now we have talked a lot. I have talked a lot, and of course we went through the imagination session a little bit, and then we wrote the list, and now let me take out my story keyboard. The most exciting part of the session. Let me see what all is there. There are lots of things in story keyboard, okay? So this is my bori, and that's my story. Oh, that's a mic. Okay, so let's see. There are lots of things inside. Books, another book, and lots of other things. And let's get started with the story keyboard. Hello, so let's begin without wasting much time. This is a story about a place called Cantico. Cantico was a place far away, somewhere inhabited by people from all over the world. It was the place where people were rich and wealthy. The Baxon's family was the most sophisticated among all. Sayola Baxon was a different kind of a girl who was brought up in extreme luxury. She went to the best school, in her best car, with her best belongings. Sayola was different for a different kind of reason. She had the habit of discriminating among people who were different. She would be discriminating against kids who were not rich, discriminating against people who were not as good looking as her. There were so many children in her class, and she would always look for the good looking or the most intelligent and the most sophisticated people like her, and wouldn't talk to like everyone. There were so many people in her class who were so kind. They might not be brilliant in studies but they had their own inner genius powers. There was Indigli from India, Japolo from Japan, Frencha from France, Rushki from Russia, Dubaku from Dubai, Afroni from Africa, with whom Miss Sayola just wouldn't talk, wouldn't share, and wouldn't mingle. Why was this so? Because they looked different. Some had a round face, some had really small eyes, some were black in color, and some were brown in color, some were short, some were tall. But then, we are all unique, aren't we? But Sayola always looked for perfection, sophistication, and smartness and beauty, but never bothered about the heart of a person. That's sad, isn't it? Years passed by, and much to the dismay of our parents and teachers, Sayola did not change her habit a bit. 15 years fast forward. Sayola is now a successful businesswoman. She is a billionaire who has developed a sophisticated electric car. Wow! She had to go to a new country for her project. But her habits of discrimination still persisted. Whatever is going to happen in the new country. The name of this place was Ertigo. She has never seen such a beautiful place. It was well developed, clean, and she liked everything about this place except that this place had people who did not look like her. They smiled at her with a gaze of kindness, but would Miss Sayola look at them? Will she smile at them? There were people who had the same features as her too. Boy! There were some good-looking people, handsome men, and beautiful girls. Boy, would you look at them? Smile at them? Will she talk to them? Of course! She would! One day, she went to the most expensive restaurant in the biggest hotel in Ertigo. That was the name of the place where she had her project. Oh my God, the restaurant was so amazingly beautiful. The chandeliers and the decor made it look like a heavenly place. She was happy to see so many rich people just like her, good looking. Sayola got up from her seat because the spirit of discrimination which was inside her was acting and hovering over and around her. A man sitting in the corner who did not look like her could have been the reason, because he was wearing very simple clothes, he was dark, and he was sitting alone. She went straight to the manager at the counter and she said, "Hello?" The manager obliged and said, "Yes, ma'am." "Well, I am Sayola from Ertigo and I've come here to Ertigo for a project. And I would just want to tell you that I will pay for the lunch of all these people sitting here in your restaurant, except for the person over there, sitting in the corner. I will not pay for that person. The manager agreed and served the drink and the lunch. People in the restaurant were so happy. So was Sayola. She was also happy. And why was she happy? Because she had succeeded in her mission of discrimination. She was happy that now everyone will get the lunch free except for that man. Everyone will get the drink free except for that man. But to her surprise, that man got up and said, "Spasiba." He smiled at her. To her dismay, she didn't like it. And then he sat. Sayola thought, whatever that means. And she moved out of the restaurant. This angered Sayola because here she wanted to discriminate and she wanted the other person to feel really bad, but instead he smiled. She got up with a face which might break the expensive glass flooring of the restaurant, and off she thumped along, being unsuccessful and unhappy. She went straight into the most expensive theatre in Ertigo. She went inside and was glad to see people like her, except on the first row there were two boys who definitely had different features. Again, what was she possessed with? Tell me, what was she possessed with? She was possessed with the spirit of discrimination. She went to the manager in the theatre and told him that she would pay for the popcorn and drink of every person watching the movie except for the two ladies sitting in the front row. The manager was puzzled but agreed. As soon as everyone got the popcorn and the drink, everyone thanked. "Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, man." Sayola was waiting for an explosive reaction from the first row. Did she get it? Her heart was pounding with excitement for a wicked success that she had not achieved yet. To her surprise, the two ladies who did not get the popcorn, did not get the drink, got up, smiled and said, "Arigato." Whatever that means. Ertigo had this special cable car which would take them around the countryside. And Sayola got the ticket. There was a long queue and Sayola, still not so successful in feeling the success of discriminating, she quickly scanned her compartment in the metro. As soon as he found her target, she walked up to the ticket manager and said that she would pay for everyone in the compartment in the cable car, but not the man in the blue jacket. This time, the manager was not puzzled, as the word had already spread in Ertigo that there is a lady in Ertigo who is kind and generous only to people who look like her and match up to her expectations. The manager announced that the ticket money for everyone in the compartment will be refunded except for the man in the blue jacket. What was the reaction from the man in the blue jacket? The man in the blue jacket got up, smiled, and said to Sayola, "Merci beaucoup, ma'am." And what was Sayola's reaction? Whatever that means, said Sayola. This time, everyone in the compartment, in chorus, said, "Ma'am, merci beaucoup" means thank you. Whatever. By the end of the day, Sayola wanted to run away from this place named Urtigo. She was not at all successful in discriminating. All she could hear was thank yous everywhere. What is happening? She felt defeated by this word, thank you. She hated this word, thank you. Thank you, thank you. What is this? She was defeated by all the people whom she discriminated. She felt bogged down by their smile and their kind gestures. She raged towards her room to pull her baggage from the top shelf. But as she did, a heavy vase which was kept alongside the baggage fell hard on her head. She touched her head and shocked to see blood on her fingers. She ran outside the room but slipped and rolled down the stairs. Two people who looked so different, not at all like her and not at all to her expectations, rescued her, picked her up, carried her, put her in the car and took her to the hospital. And where she was given first aid, she was admitted in the hospital, taken care of and sedated for some time to relax. Sayola opened her eyes in the hospital. She saw herself on the bed and was looking around everywhere as to what had happened. She got so angry with everyone. She looked around and she saw the doctor and the nurse taking care of her. They looked so different. And here she was at their mercy. She was under their care. Where did all that discrimination and the anger and the pride go? Did she want to discriminate now? Obviously not. She felt so ashamed and embarrassed for what she did. There were non-stop tears rolling out of her eyes when the doctor and the nurse said, "There are some people who have come to meet you." To her surprise, it were the same people whom she had discriminated a few moments ago. The man at the restaurant said, "Oh Sayola, don't you recognize us? We are your classmates. I'm Rushki." And then all of them introduced themselves. There was Tepola, there's Indiglo, everyone, and they were so happy. And then they said, "Sayola, you need to be more patient and kind in your dealings with people. And you know what? We are going to sing a song for you and sing this song along. And it's going to make you happy because it is the gratitude song. Do you want to learn this song? Yes? Okay, so we are going to sing the song together. And then they sang the song together and Sayola felt so good and she thanked all her friends for teaching her that song. And never again she discriminated because she knew the value of gratitude in her life. She then developed an attitude of gratitude. She was really happy. Wherever she went, she just spent her time thanking people from her heart and her soul. So, for you too, children, have the attitude of gratitude. So that was the story of today. Hope you enjoyed the story as much as I loved narrating it to you. My God! So let's get started with some more activity. Are you ready? So we are now to the next activity. Of course, you remember the list that you had made on the people that you love, who give you happiness, and the things that you give that give you happiness. Now what I want to do is choose one person from list 2 and one thing from list 1. What you're going to do is that you are going to present the most favorite thing that you have in list 1 to the most favorite person of list 2. Why? Because Christmas is all about Thanksgiving. So you need to give that gift to the other person, and that will give you more happiness. Alright? And of course, if you had written iPhone or an Xbox, which are really expensive, what you can do is you can develop a song on that, or be as creative as you can. You can develop something, a model or a drawing, but be creative, write a poem, something, and then present it to that person and make them know that how much you love them and how much you care for them. That is the attitude of gratitude, and that is why we made this list. Alright, so now before we end this session, I will teach you this gratitude song. So what we can do is you can listen to me and then we will sing together again. Okay, so once let me sing for you and then we'll sing together. Alright, ready? Okay. Say thank you, Mehrbani, Shukran, Dhanyavad, Aabhar, Nani, Gratitude, Gracias, Spasiba, Merci beaucoup, Arigato, Shukriya. So this is the song of gratitude. Wherever you go, have gratitude in your heart. And it is not just for things that we need to be grateful for. We need to be grateful for the people, the air, the plants, the trees, your health, your every body cell, your friends, your teachers. I mean, the list is endless if you think of gratitude list. Me talking to you, I'm so grateful for you to be such patient listeners and listening to this entire session, being with me. I'm so grateful. Sayola apologized to them, but one thing still continued to perplex her. She asked them, "Tell me, didn't you all feel offended, angered and irritated when I left you and did not spend anything on you, rather gave everyone a treat and did not give you a treat?" The man in the restaurant, who was Rushki, said, "Sayola, I am the owner of the restaurant. The two ladies in the theatre came forward and said, "We are Frencha and Afroni. We too own the profits in the theatre." The man in the blue jacket in the cable car, like Metro, introduced himself as Tobacco and said that I own the Metro. The doctor and the nurse were Japolo and Indigli. All of them said, "Dear Sayola, in your anger of spending and discriminating, we were benefiting with the profit, but you were losing out both on money and patience. Attitude of gratitude has made us what we are today. Happy, healthy, successful, and wealthy." Money may give you luxury, but real happiness comes from being grateful. Life always gives us reasons to be grumpy, but it is up to us to find the reasons in our life to be grateful for. So always have this heart of gratitude. Hello, so how was this story, guys? That's the end of the story, the attitude of gratitude. Did you like it or not? What was the best part of the story that you liked? Okay, here is another activity for you. What was the longest word that you came across in the story? Ta-ta-ta, tell me. Of course, it starts with D and you might see the mirror image of it. I will show it over here. Here it is. Discrimination. Okay. So discrimination is the word, and you can quickly write on the sheet that you have with you. And discrimination. Discrimination. So just break the word and write it. And in the beginning is the prefix, and the end has a suffix. And in the beginning, the prefix is dis, D-I-S, and in the end is T-I-O-N, that is shun. Now I'm going to give you 3 minutes and you're going to write 3 words. 3 words which start with dis, D-I-S, and 3 words which end in T-I-O-N. So quickly write those words. And keep on adding, even after the session is over, keep on adding to that list. Have a vocabulary diary with you, a journal where you keep on writing words, new words that you come across. Alright, so with that, I come to the end of this session on attitude of gratitude. Keep having it wherever you go. Have the attitude of gratitude. It's so important. It charges you up. It makes you happy. It really gives you the propellant to move forward in life with no baggage. You feel light once you have this attitude of gratitude. Find something to be thankful for every day, and you'll see that you'll be shocked to see your list increasing day by day. So have this as a habit of thanking. Okay? Bye-bye. I love you. Mwah. Ta-da. I'll see you next time. Oh, by the way, don't forget the song. Do you want me to sing that song again? I'll sing again and we can enjoy it again. I love it. Say thank you, Mehrbani, Shukran, Dhanyavad, Aabhar, Nandi, Gratitude, Gracia, Spasiba, Merci beaucoup, Arigato, Shukriya. Ta-da! Thank you for such great listeners over here.